After what I just read, the only response I have to this story is good. Do it. Trump, fire them all. They're lucky they're not getting locked up. Okay, not all of them. But the ones who lied to the American people about our troop levels, the ones who sought to subvert the will of the people and keep us stuck in these foreign wars with no justification, they're lucky if all that happens is they get fired. From CNN, Trump administration removes senior defense officials and installs loyalists, triggering alarm at the Pentagon. Yeah, what is this? We got General Anthony Tata, Douglas McGregor, Michael Ellis, Ezra Cohen-Watnick, and Kash Patel. Trump has brought in people who like Donald Trump. Maybe now they'll be honest with him about what's going on. And maybe Trump should have done this in the first place, because you know what? I can be really angry about how they have subverted the will of the people and lied to us to keep us entangled in the Middle East. I can be extremely angry about it. But I got to be honest. Trump should have known better. He should have fired these people. He should have made these moves as soon as possible. I guess he couldn't, though, because of Russiagate. And now with the current state of the election, we'll see if Trump wins. But I tell you, if Trump ends up winning and pulling through, and I hope he does way more than I did an hour ago after reading these stories. I hope he gets rid of these corporate, these crooked, these corrupt individuals. This is about American democratic institutions. It's about the republic. I suppose the elites don't want the rabble to decide what we should or shouldn't do. That's not the way this country is supposed to work, for the most part. Representatives are supposed to represent the people. And if they need us to be in, say, Syria, then justification must be given. And if they can't do it, then get out. Why should we risk our sons and daughters, our brothers and sisters, and to some, our mothers and fathers, overseas in this conflict with no justification? We shouldn't. They say the Trump administration has carried out sweeping changes atop the Defense Department's civilian leadership structure, removing several of its most senior officials and replacing them with perceived loyalists to the president. Good. The flurry of changes announced by the Department of Defense in a statement roughly 24 hours after President Donald Trump fired Defense Secretary Mark Esper has put officials inside the Pentagon on edge and fueled a growing sense of alarm among military and civilian officials who are concerned about what could come next. 4 senior civilian officials have been fired or have resigned since Monday, including Esper, his chief of staff, and the top officials overseeing policy and intelligence. They were replaced by perceived Trump loyalists, including a controversial figure who promoted fringe conspiracy theories and called former President Barack Obama a terrorist. All right. A senior defense official told CNN late Tuesday that it appears we are done with the beheadings for now, referring to the wave of ousted civilian leaders, including Esper. But the moves will likely only add to the sense of chaos within the Pentagon following Trump's firing of Esper. The president jettisoned him 2 days after his Democratic opponent, Joe Biden, was projected as the winner of the presidential election, a conclusion that Trump has refused to accept. Well, it's a media projection, so I don't blame him. Concerns are growing that a chaotic transition period could undermine national security. Is that what you call it, national security? While top officials have been dealing with Trump's unpredictable decision-making since he took office, the current level of uncertainty has risen steadily since the election. Knowledgeable sources told CNN's Jake Tapper Tuesday that the White House now seems focused on going after Esper's undersecretaries at the Defense Department in the wake of his firing on Monday. Esper was replaced by Christopher Miller, the director of the National Counterterrorism Center. The sources said the effort may be because Esper and his team were pushing back on a premature withdrawal from Afghanistan that would be carried out before the required conditions on the ground were met, and other pending security issues. This is scary. It's very unsettling, one defense official told CNN. These are dictator moves. Oh, dictator moves. Withdraw our troops from that foreign country and bring them home, said the dictator. These people are psychotic. Okay, I'm not stupid. I'm not. Perhaps there's real reasons. There's real national security reasons that we need to be over there in the Middle East. Maybe we're concerned about a power vacuum, the rise of an ISIS-like group, or even ISIS. Maybe we're concerned about Syria and Russia taking ground and gaining space in the Middle East. Maybe. Maybe Donald Trump knew what he was doing. Maybe Donald Trump had a path to Middle Eastern peace. Maybe Donald Trump signed 4 historic peace agreements. I believe all of them recognized Israel, though one of them was not in the Middle East. It was Kosovo and Serbia. Perhaps Trump's plans would have brought about true peace, but he was obstructed by psychopaths like this who think the will of the people does not matter. And that's what you get. Congratulations, Democrats. You've secured our position in the Middle East for another couple of decades, I can only imagine. Conspiracy theorists and Trump loyalists. Among those who assumed new roles in the Department of Defense was controversial retired Brigadier General Anthony Tata, who moved into the Pentagon's top policy role, taking over the duties of James Anderson, who resigned Tuesday, according to another U.S. defense official. Tata had been nominated to be Undersecretary of Defense for Policy this summer, but his nomination was withdrawn because of bipartisan opposition. CNN's K-File reported that he has made numerous Islamophobic and offensive comments and promoted various conspiracy theories. In several 2018 tweets, he claimed Obama was a terrorist leader who did more to harm the U.S. and help Islamic countries than any president in history. After the withdrawal of his nomination, Tata was designated the official performing the duties of the Deputy Undersecretary of Policy for Policy. Yeah. You see, when Syria got torn apart, the United States, under Barack Obama's official position, was to oppose Bashar al-Assad. Now, Assad's got his problems, man. He absolutely does. And I'm not going to pretend to have all the answers. But Barack Obama decided to assist the freedom fighters, many of whom went on to become ISIS. And there you go. Trump was the one who effectively crushed ISIS. Under Obama, it just kept growing and getting worse. But Trump was the bad guy, isn't he? Yeah, that's what they'll say. They say Anderson has been serving as the acting undersecretary. Sure, I don't care about these stupid smears. Democrats were alarmed by the developments. It is hard to overstate just how dangerous high-level turnover at the Department of Defense is during a period of presidential transition. The top policy professional in the department resigning the day after the Secretary of Defense was fired could mark the beginning of a process of gutting the DoD. Something that should alarm all Americans. No, just lunatics like you and their sycophants over at CNN. Anderson wasn't the only senior figure to depart on Tuesday. Retired Navy Vice Admiral Joseph Kernan, the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence, also left his position, according to another defense official. It was not immediately clear if Kernan had resigned or was fired, but his departure has been accelerated. Kash Patel will be the chief of staff to Miller, according to an administration official and a U.S. defense official. Patel, who most recently served as senior director of counterterrorism at the National Security Council, is a controversial figure who previously worked under Republican Rep. Devin Nunes of California on the House Intelligence Committee. He was among the names mentioned during the House impeachment inquiry's investigation into the administration's decision to delay military aid to Ukraine last year. Patel has a very close working relationship with Miller, the administration official said. It's crazy. Multiple civilian and military officials working inside the Pentagon are raising the question of whether the departure of Esper and other officials will now clear the way for Trump in his final weeks in office to potentially again call for initiatives he wants to pursue the Pentagon opposes. One would be, again, raising the specter of using active duty forces under the Insurrection Act against any future protests. There are no protests right now, are there? They're all peaceful. There's very few riots going on. You still have some unrest in the Portland area popping up here and there, and they'll likely get worse under Joe Biden. But kind of absurd to bring that up now, huh? Another potential raised by officials would be override the military advice he's been given and bring troops home from Afghanistan by Christmas. It's time, is it not? I had a conversation with Sean Parnell. Smart guy, good dude. And he said he thinks we do need some kind of presence in Afghanistan because we want to avoid a power vacuum which could give rise to groups like ISIS. Fair point, and I'm willing to accept it. I don't have all the answers. I know a little bit about the news coming out of the Middle East and things like this. It's a long-standing history that goes back before I was born. Sure. They've not justified it to the American people, so I'm not willing to play their dirty games. But Sean was a good dude. Sean is a good dude. The conversation we had was good. And I'm willing to accept that we maintain a small presence and we draw down our troops significantly. To the extent that we should be in there, look, none at all. I don't think we should be there at all. Power vacuum arises. Well, we're the United States of America, not the United States of the Middle East. We shouldn't be doing nation building. And I will tell you this. You want to come to me? You want to come to me and tell me we should have our troops in Afghanistan doing nation building stuff, setting up buildings? Okay. I will absolutely concede, let's go for it after you fix Flint. How about that? And wait, what's that? Flint's got a lot of problems. Flint, Michigan, the water. You fix that, let's talk. Because then we can go down the list of all the other cities that need to be fixed, of all the other people in this country who need help before you want to talk about worrying about what's happening over there. But that's what we get in this country. The people who voted for Joe Biden don't care. They don't know, and they don't care. They're not paying attention. But man, is it frustrating, I tell you this. So you know what? Maybe Donald Trump will get to finally take some heavy action, getting our troops back, whatever. And you know what? Maybe it'll make problems in the Middle East. I'm totally aware of that. Maybe it will result in a rise of horrifying groups and horrifying activities. And then, maybe then the UN and other countries will say, we got to go in and stop this. Or maybe let me say, if that really was your concern, you'd be talking about China and the Uyghur Muslim camps. They're not talking about that. That's happening now. Don't tell me about the what ifs in the Middle East when things are actually happening in other countries you don't care about. I got one more segment coming up in a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly.